Shalom, Kal Halayim Leho Bashim Yahushai, Wahabar Hakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of GMS Ruwell, who I learned this truth from, and salutations and blessings to you elect out there, starting with 144,000. So this lesson is coming off this video from the elder Manata Zagba in GMS South Carolina. Response: End Time Dream of YN Mass Death and Rejected Women. Okay, I skipped to the 4-minute mark. I'm going to play the clip, and then I'm going to get a scripture backing this up, because this is prophecy, man. We're here. You know, we've been telling you this. Our elders and apostles have been telling you this for decades. You know, the brothers have been telling you this across the world for many years, okay, of this facade, this fake system, okay, this mirage, if you will, this illusion of a system, how it's going to implode, you know, and reality is going to set in. Okay, so let's go.
Apart. And I'll tell you how I know it. You'll hear it when I talk about it. In the second dream, it was about Generation Z women. There were no millennial women in this. It was Generation Z women and millennial men. They were the only ones I saw in this. So the Generation Z women were running around holding babies. They were holding their children, and they were running around looking for men. They were asking men to marry them. They were telling men, please. They were telling the millennial men, please marry me. Please marry me. If you don't marry me, I won't survive. I won't be protected. No one will care. Help me. And a lot of the men were turning them down. The men were telling them, I'm not raising you and those babies. I'm not raising you and that baby. And what it was, like, it came to me. Those women were actually the mothers to the children that were the children of the men that had died in the first dream. They were all of the children were born out of wedlock.
Because the first dream he had was of you Jakes, you 2/3 going to World War III, pretty much. All right, fighting in the Third World War, getting your ass torn up and blown up. All right, and a bunch of blood pretty much shedding everywhere, you know. You 2/3 on TikTok talking about, oh, we ain't getting drafted, and you know, trying to talk all this smooth shit. You niggas, you're gonna get drafted and you're gonna get killed over there in where is that, Jehoshaphat, okay, in Megiddo. You're gonna get drafted and you're gonna get jacked up, man. That's gonna be your judgment. Thinking shit sweet, you know. You're on TikTok, you know, trying to be a ball player, trying to be a podcaster, you know, making content of the Israelites and making fun, pretty much making fun of the Lord, right? That's what you're doing. You're making fun of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, because he's the one that sent the prophets, right?
Last one of them were born out of wedlock, and the women were running around trying to find a man that would marry them. They were even offering themselves in ways that they probably normally wouldn't do. I could hear so many different voices. I could hear so many different arguments, so many different disagreements, and so many different denials. And the women were running to the men, and they were telling the men, marry me. I don't care what I have to do. And some of the women even said, I'll be your seventh wife. I'll be your seventh wife. I don't care.
No, this is because there will be a scarcity of men. Let's get that scripture, right? This is 2 Ezra 16. I'm going to start at 27 in the GNT, right? There's going to be a big scarcity of men. And men with a head on their shoulders is going to be even a bigger scarcity, you know? It says, and a person will long to see the face of another human being, or even to hear another person's voice. Only 10 will be left out of a whole city, and in the countryside, only 2 who have hidden in the forest or in caves, right? Because you're going to have people hiding, right? You're going to have people scouring somewhere trying to find shelter. But the majority of people, they're going to get caught out where? In the big cities, all right? The big cities, the main roads, the you know, the busy place, the metropolitan areas, they're going to get caught out there. They're going to get destroyed. Those are the first places that get messed up. Okay? It says, When an olive grove is harvested, 3 or 4 olives may be left on each tree. When grapes in a vineyard are picked, a few bunches may be left even by those who look carefully. That is how it will be in those days. 3 or 4 will be missed by the soldiers who search the houses to kill everyone. What is this talking about? That's why, hey, this is beautiful translation, because in the KJV, where is that? Let me see what it says in, what was that, verse 31. Even so, in those days there shall be 3 or 4 by them that search their houses with the sword, right? So here it explicitly says soldiers. So that's showing you this place, man, martial law will be instituted. There's gonna be complete chaos. You're gonna have sedition, race wars, food riots, famine, okay, vigilantes, bandits. This place is gonna be swamped with complete utter chaos, man. It says the land will be left empty. It says the fields will be overgrown with briars. The roads and paths will be covered with weeds, just like in the movie The Road, right? In the movie The Road, they show you, man. The Book of Eli, right? You got a bunch of movies, but the Road is really one of those ones where they showed you, man, right? Society was finished. The guy asked him, he's like, what are you guys eating nowadays? And the Edomite's like, whatever we can. And he was pretty much talking about people. They were eating people. They wanted to capture them and eat them. They showed you that in the Book of Eli too, with the old couple in the home. They gave him tea, try to, sweeten them up and shit, and then they're gonna kill them and eat them. Right? That's what it's gonna turn into, man. Cannibalism. Okay? It says the roads and paths will be covered with weeds and thorns because there will be no sheep to graze along them. This is the point. Young women will be mourning because there is no one to marry them. See? Wives will be in mourning because they have lost their husbands. Daughters will be in mourning because there is no one to help them. And you young women, 14, 15, 16, 17 that are coming up, you guys majority of you are bugged out. You have this forward, prideful mentality, right? You want to argue with men. You want to argue with everybody. You want to argue with the store clerk, You want to argue on TikTok, right? You want to be hard-headed, thinking the world's at your feet. The big reality check is coming, man, for everybody. You effeminate men, right? You Captain Save-A-Hoes. The reality is coming, okay? It's not going to be nice. And best believe gender roles are going to be reset, all right? Because this is a whole facade, man. This is a fucking illusion. Just like Smith said, he told Morpheus, he said, I'm going to be honest with you. I hate this place. All right? He's like this reality, whatever you want to call it. I can't stand it anymore. Right? Because this is a fucking facade, man. It's fake. Right? And that's why AI is the new god. Artificialism, right? Everything is artificial. Food isn't real. They want to block out the sun. They say we don't need the sun. We're going to do experiments to block out the sun. We're going to spray. Last year, right? Gates said we're going to spray chemicals to layer pretty much like a screen in the sky. All right, a protective shield, pretty much. So we're gonna block out the sun. These are psychotic people, man. Right? AI is gonna take over. Right? All your jobs is being lost. You are no longer needed. And just like in the Matrix, the key maker, he's like we're all here to do what we're all here to do, and the agent's like, well, you're meant for one more thing, deletion. Right? Like if they didn't they don't need your ass, what do? They delete you, right? And the oligarchs, the elites, they look at you people as what? Useless eaters, man. You are not needed, right? And they despise you. That's why pretty much they're killing you slowly, and while they're killing you, they're also milking you. You know, they're milking you off, killing you, deleting you slowly. Okay? And what do I mean by that? Well, you pay your taxes. Okay, you're subservient to this beast system. You worship and wonder at the beast system, right? You stand up for it on 10 toes, right? When you get sick, you buy their drugs. You support the medical system, right? You vote, you do all this, you know, you wonder after the beast, man. You know, they're making money off you. It says these are people that are selling you electricity, man. Fucking free energy, all up and down the earth, and they're selling. You get a hydro bill at the end of the month with a utility bill. Pieces of shit, man. Right? It says all the young men will be killed in the war. All the YNs, man. All right, you Edomites, Elamites, you know, all you guys, man. You're gonna be drafted up, and you're gonna be sent to fucking Megiddo. Okay, the Valley of Jehoshaphat. Okay. And all the married men will die in the famine. Okay. Now, see, the point was the woman, man. You young women, you bugged out motherfuckers, man. Right? Because you have bought into, just like a lot of men, you have bought into the gender war, which is cultivated, right, and pushed by we know who. You know, you elites, not you women. You women didn't come up with feminism. the investors of feminism and the people that pushed it were primarily the Rockefellers, the oligarchs, man, the elites. That was a plan. You know, but you young women, man, you are finished, and it's because a lot of you are prideful, full of pride, man. You know, and that's why Isaiah 4, which, to be honest, in this setting, I really couldn't give a shit about this, man. Because a lot, from my mentality, is you women slow you down, man. All right, like let's say I'm very grateful if there's 5 brothers, you know, 5 of us that catch up in the wilderness, or you know, not the wilderness, but when all hell breaks loose, and a couple brothers might got 3, 4 women with them. I'm gonna be side eyeing everybody, man. I don't want to hear no fucking complaints. I don't want to hear no fucking nothing. Shut the fuck up. Or I'll just go by myself, man. You know, for me, women slow you down in those hectic situations, but it's all set up through the spirit too. I'm not saying I'm impatient and you know. So this is Isaiah 4:1 NLT. In that day, so few men will be left. You see how it's harmonious, precept upon precept. We read in 2nd Ezra, there will be all the young men will be killed. So now you're understanding. Oh, how does it make sense? Oh, now it makes sense, right? It says in that day, so few men will be left that 7 women, and 7 is a representation of completion. So it can mean 10, 5, 20, right? 7 women will fight for each man. They will fight because as the dude in the dream, or it's like as the dude in the video who had the dream, he said pretty much, you know, they were trying to, they were not parading, they were promoting themselves, man. They were throwing themselves at men, saying, please take me. Okay? And the majority of you Gen Zs, oh my goodness, you are disgusting. You have terrible mentalities, man. You are completely warped and bugged out. You know? Completely bugged out. It says, let us all marry you. We will provide our own food and clothing. Only let us take your name so we won't be mocked as old maids. Okay? And in the KJV, it pretty much has to take away our reproach, man. And your reproach is that you have been a degenerate upon this earth, man. Okay? shame, disgrace, resting upon condition of shame or disgrace. Okay, shame. Right, just like in Game of Thrones, shame, right? It's gonna be bad for you, man. You know. Anyway, shalom to the elect. Kahalalem la Yahweh Bashim Yahushai.